Hey everybody, it's Nick from Android Headlines, and this is our review of the LeEco Le Pro3. While folks in the US might be unfamiliar with the name, if you live in China, it's very likely you've heard of LeEco before. Once under the name LeTV, LeEco changed its name earlier this year to reflect its changing and ever-expanding product lines, and now it's expanding these very same lines to reach US shores. Announced at an event in San Francisco in October, the LeEco Le Pro3 is LeEco's fall 2016 flagship phone, and one of two phones kicking off US sales with a big bang. Normally retailing at $399, the specs you'll find here are killer for that price, much less the introductory price that LeEco announced. For $299, you can order one of these bad boys right now, and if you're lucky enough to order between Black Friday and Cyber Monday, you'll get it for $280. For reference, the all-metal unibody build here is packing the very same Snapdragon 821 that Google's Pixel phones pack, phones that cost more than double the $299 promotional price LeEco is touting. On top of that, you're getting 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage, and although there's no micro SD card support, LeEco's cloud services are here to cover what 64 gigs might not fully fit, namely those pictures and videos, of course. Owners of the Le Pro3 will get unlimited full-sized photo and video backup via LeEco's Le Cloud service, something Google again touted as a huge selling point to the vastly more expensive Pixel, and is but one of many services LeEco offers with its products. On top of a robust cloud service, LeEco is launching its phones with the service it became first popular for in China: video streaming. One of the many hats that LeEco wears bears the title of Netflix of China, and it's this service that offers 5,000 movies and 100,000 TV episodes in China and will likely boast a similar number when the full service launches here in the US early next year. Even in its infancy right now though, you'll still see popular channels like A&E, the History Channel, Lifetime, HGTV, and plenty more where that came from. LeEco is promising partnerships with lots of big studios like Showtime and Lionsgate to name a few, and you'll find a handful of content partners on the LeEco Live app right now to wet your whistle and get an idea of what's to come. It's a fantastic app with a really slick interface, starting with a grid of 3x3 videos, each representing a different channel to tune to. Everything here is well designed and easy to find, and clicking on a channel brings up what's actually playing live, as well as the show listing of what has played and what's coming up. Shows are automatically archived for on-demand viewing, and the moment you begin watching a show, it begins recording so that it'll automatically resume if you ever need to step away for a moment. Casting to any LeEco brand TV is as easy as a gesture, but the big weakness here is that there doesn't appear to be any sort of Google Cast functionality built in. This is a tough call for a company that's just starting in the US, and while it's nice to offer additional features within their own ecosystem, LeEco would be wise to jump into the world of Google Cast ready products, as there are already tens of millions of supported devices here in the US, unlike LeEco devices. This obviously limits the service's appeal, and the hope certainly is that LeEco expands this functionality before launching the full service early next year. Keeping with the software discussion, it seems that LeEco has significantly pared down the Android skin it calls Ecosystem User Interface, or EUI for short. In the past, this has been an overbearing UI that caused havoc with Google services, which are admittedly banned in China as a whole, but made it nearly impossible to use the phone anywhere else in the world. This is a significant turnaround for the UI and actually makes it quite enjoyable to use, even though it's very different in some respects from other Android-based phones out there. Running atop Android 6.0 Marshmallow, you'll find that EUI 5.8 is an interesting mesh of industry trends and eschews the idea of having quick toggles in that notification shade. Instead, LeEco has created a control center found by pressing the overview button next to the uniquely branded home button, which brings up a rather interesting looking screen to suit many purposes. Here you'll find your recent apps, quick toggles, and even a dedicated music area, all in horizontally scrolling rows of icons. At first, it's definitely weird, but after a while, it actually becomes quite nice to have everything here, a single button press away instead of a couple swipes away. The notification shade actually behaves properly too, with single finger expansion and all the quick actions you like using. Take that, MIUI. On top of this, LeEco has worked to bring compatibility to pretty much all GSM-based US networks, delivering LTE across the spectrum, as well as support for Wi-Fi calling on T-Mobile. NFC is included here too for Android Pay support, and you'll even find a front-facing speaker in the earpiece of the Le Pro 3 that offers stereo sound when paired with that primary bottom-facing speaker. This gives better sound than all the phones out there that just have a single bottom-firing speaker, but not quite as good as having stereo front-facing speakers would. Funny enough, while LeEco recognizes the importance of stereo speakers on a device devoted to entertaining you throughout the day, there's no 3.5mm audio jack included on this phone. Just like LeEco's phones from earlier this year, the Le Pro 3 only features a USB Type-C port at the bottom and relies on an adapter to give you that 3.5mm connection. Thankfully, there's one included in the box, and on top of that, LeEco actually gives a rather good pair of USB Type-C headphones with CDLA HD audio playback, giving crisp, clean digital sound without having to buy more stuff after you get a phone. Also included in the box is a clear TPU rubber-style case that adds some much-needed grip on that all-metal body on the Le Pro 3. While this phone feels really fantastic with some seriously heavy-duty metal construction and a large 4070 mAh battery, metal inherently can be super slippery, especially in cooler climates. This 4070 mAh battery delivered excellent battery life too and got me through a full day with absolutely no problems, and I often found that I would get around 30% or so battery left at the end of a full day. What doesn't look quite as good though is that screen, which is a pretty bland IPS panel with ugly black bezels around it, making it feel out of place on the front of this gorgeous build. The gold on our review unit actually is quite nice, but that mirror finish fingerprint scanner tends to get a little smudgy super quickly, to say the least. What's nice though is that LeEco has added some rather useful functionality for the camera portion of the phone that utilizes this fingerprint scanner in really great ways. The camera can launch within 1 or 2 seconds when the assigned fingerprint hits the scanner, and the same fingerprint can snap a photo just as quick, meaning you're gonna nail some good quick shots with this one. It's just a shame the quality isn't quite up to par with what we expect from a $400 smartphone nowadays, especially after some of the winners we've seen this year, like the OnePlus 3 for example. Daytime shots look great, but everything else could use some work. LeEco's camera software is pretty basic and doesn't offer auto HDR or auto night modes or anything like that, and tends to prefer lower ISO over faster shutter, meaning your low light and nighttime shots are probably going to end up blurry more often than you'd like. The front-facing camera is definitely not up to par with industry standards nowadays either, and while it's not as bad as the Xiaomi Mi Mix's front-facing camera, it's definitely not good either. At least you can shoot good 4K video with electronic stabilization on here, just don't expect to go bragging to your friends about how good of a camera your new phone has. So let's recap. For the normal price of $399, you're getting top-of-the-line specs, a gorgeous and solid metal build, an entire ecosystem to play around in with video streaming and cloud services, and more features that you can shake a stick at. Promotional pricing brings that even lower and the value quite a bit higher, and so long as you don't need a top-notch screen or camera, this is a hard bargain to pass up. LeEco is starting off its US sales with a serious bang, and it's pretty clear they're going for the jugular when it comes to value pricing. We hope you enjoyed that review and will subscribe to us for more content. Check us out on your favorite social network, and don't forget to check out AndroidHeadlines.com for 24/7 Android-based news coverage. Thanks for watching, and until next time.